Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow! 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 Ow!
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at we, yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you for fixing that. Yeah. Good morning, brothers and sisters. And this includes our new members who may be enjoying us for the very first time, wherever you may be, wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be yet. There you are. And here I are in my office where it is Sunday, May 17th, the 482nd day of the Sex Offender Administration. Here in my office, it is 70 degrees, zero humidity, but it is a little warm. It's not humidity, it's just warm, because on the other side of this wall, it is also 70 degrees with zero humidity. And a 100% chance that if you are just finding out about my drinking problem, you still have dial-up internet. That's all I got to say. So yes, I did see that post that I have a drinking problem. Actually, they said I was an alcoholic. Doesn't mean I don't really have a drinking problem. I drink. I forget about my problems. All right.
Fucking liar!
Okay, I do remember the problems. I just don't care. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCM, LIX. People have also called me the racy reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the minister of mischief, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the freaky frisky friar, the ass man abbot, the colored cleric, the booty banging brother, the handsy high priest, the shameless shaman, Father Fismus, the wicked I like to watch witness, the holy hoe, the divine dominating dominee, the depraved preacher, the tickle me theologian, the minister of making love, the clergy of cunning conversation while eating coochie, and that nasty N-word. The point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy. So children, all of my children, bless you, and let us begin in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah.
Yeah!
There we go. See, I was waiting to drop the mic to do the fuck yeah, see? And I should just do it like this so you think I drop it on the floor. But I don't drop this on the floor anymore. I used to drop it on the floor. As a matter of fact, before I used to drop the mic, I used to throw water on the peoples. Yeah, I do that in the live shows when I don't have a camera in front of me, because it turns out that sometimes you can do this and get water on the lens. You get like a little droplet, and then everything looks good except for the droplet, and then my head does this. You're looking like woo, woo, because that little droplet just makes that one part of the head looks big. Okay, which is the technique I use when I do my dick pics. I put a little drop of water on the lens, and so everything else is normal, and then it gets to that dick pic part, and it goes woo, because that drop of water just makes everything look bigger in that one little drop. It's a technique that I've been teaching people when it comes to making the dick pics. That's right. The button removed. Oh, the button removed. That's right. Happy Sunday, Sister Ann. Good Lord. Yes, indeed. Happy Sunday. Now, it is time for our opening prayer, sponsored by G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist. If you have an opening that requires, that needs to be filled by a humorist, G.D. Fenderson can fill that opening. Yes, indeed. If you or someone you know is in need of a prayer by the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, please send your request for a prayer, a healing, forgiveness, or any such request to me at drreverendjellyroll@gmail.com. And please remember to spell roll with an E on the end. Otherwise, that other Jelly Roll may wind up with your request, and who knows what they're going to do with it. Did you read the terms and conditions before you responded? I don't think so, because nobody ever reads those things. I read them once. Oh my God. And this is a true story. True story. This was about 12 years ago. Someone to prove a point that no one reads the entire thing, in the entire terms and conditions. Toward the very end of the terms and conditions, they put a little instructions on how you could get $100 from that company. And in order to get it, all you do is like to read that far and get the instructions. And the instructions are real simple. You quote a sentence that's like that far down and send it to them, and they send you $100. And they said they never had to give out $100, never. And after the contest was over, like after a year or so, they revealed it, and the people are going, "Fuck! I should have read the entire," and they didn't. Even I didn't do it. By then I had stopped reading them. I used to read the whole things at the beginning. I did. But then I got disgusted because of what they were saying, and then what I was agreeing to. It's like I'm saying, shit. I'm saying you can share my data? Fuck. Just so I can have free Facebook? Fuck. How did I live without Facebook before there was a Facebook? Fuck. Yeah. And that's when I got disgusted and I stopped reading. Same with the phones and all this stuff. I was like, God damn. Because I was agreeing to shit that I don't agree with in my soul. I don't think you should be selling people's data. I'm in my heart, I'm against it. But I succumbed, not the other one. I gave in. I didn't succumb. I gave in to that just so that I could have those free services. And they weren't free. It was costing me. And it's costing me a lot. I've had my identity stolen way, way more than I care to think about. The only good thing is that I have nothing to steal. Every time they try to do something in my name, they be like, motherfucker, he broke. Motherfucker. Like, I can't. I'm going to send him some money. Shit. Okay. Sorry about that. I got strayed. I got led astray by my own strayness. Now, for our disclaimer, while all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. That's right. Hello, Sister Sunshine. That's right, Sister Sunshine. Sister Sunshine. Good day, Sunshine. And good day, Heavy Kev, who started the rumor that I was a satanic alcoholic. That's right. He started the rumor, and somebody's out there spreading it. He even has like he thinks he has proof, like a picture of me with fangs. Now, I don't have fangs. See that? It's an exaggeration. My canines are longer than the average canine. Okay? And the reason why you can't tell is because when I got my veneers done, they made my veneers proportionate to my canines, because my canines used to be longer than my front four incisors. That's right. My canines were longer. So I did look a lot like a dog or a vampire or something. And to this day, I have difficulty speaking because my teeth are by design a little bit too long. Yeah, I know. Say, what? You have difficulty speaking? Yes, I do. There's some syllables out of the 44 in the English language that I still have trouble with because I still do not open my mouth wide enough to say some of those syllables. And my jaw's changing. Yeah, my jaw, my overbite is getting overly bitten. That's right. At any rate, the point is, please bow your heads unless you're driving your car with your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes and let Jesus do his job while we pray. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But do not let go of the wheel until you know Jesus has control. Full control, not just the steering, but the gas and the brake as well. Otherwise, you will get the as well. Dear Lord. Yes, indeed. Let's do that again. Dear Lord. Yes. Please bless Brother Michael Pennington. That's right. Michael Pennington, best known for his role in Return of the Jedi, has died. He was 82. His cause of death is SUDS, Sudden Undisclosed Disease Syndrome. That's right. In Return of the Jedi, Pennington played Imperial Admiral Tian Jejerad, who is admonished by Darth Vader in the opening scene of the movie for not having completed construction of the second Death Star on time. He was also behind schedule on the Emperor's Ballroom and Reflecting Pool. He's just lazy like that. He's just late. Other movies Pennington appeared in includes a 2011 The Iron Lady, which starred Meryl Streep, and a 1969 production of Hamlet. Now, Michael Pennington played several key characters in different productions of Hamlet, including Claudius, the Ghost, Laertes, Fortinbras, and also performed the title role himself in university and professional productions. Once Pennington played Hamlet as himself after he had played every other part under every other name. He played himself. He also appeared in a number of television programs, including Raised by Wolves, Footprints, Endeavor, Father Brown, The Escape Artist, Silent Witness, and Into the Storm. He played the titular role in the 1987 TV movie The Return of Sherlock Holmes. He also starred in The Wars of the Roses in a 1989 rendition of Shakespeare's history plays. He played Rose, number 6. Rest in peace, Michael. I guess you can... sorry. Let's try that again. Turn my head when I do that cough. And hold it just a second. Sorry. Yes. Rest in peace, Michael. I guess you ran out of roles and time to play them. Can I get a line? Dear Lord, please bless Sister Jennifer Harmon. Jennifer Harmon, best known for her roles in One Life to Live and How to Survive a Marriage, has died. She was 82. Her cause of death is SUDS, as well. Well, not as well. I don't know what her ass looked like, but she did die of SUDS, Sudden Undisclosed Disease Syndrome. Again, that's right. That's 2. Harmon's entertainment career stretched across 5 decades, launching in 1965 with Broadway's You Can't Take It With You. And throughout her theater career, she frequently served as understudy to renowned performers like Judi Dench and Jessica Lange. Her final show came in 2011's Other Desert Cities, where she understudied actress Stockard Channing before permanently assuming the role. Man, she understudied a lot. I think that I'm going to get a career like that, where I'm just going to understudy for other ministers. I'm just going to learn their lines, and if they don't show up, I'll just say, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. However, Harmon established herself as a leading talent, headlining NBC soap opera How to Survive a Marriage between 1974 and 1975. Those are not the years that she survived the marriage. Those are the years that the series ran. The series chronicled a divorced couple's custody battle over their daughter while the wife pursued her career. From 1976 to 1978, she appeared on ABC's One Life to Live, portraying villain Kathy Craig. She became the 5th performer to inhabit the character. Damn. It's like you got one villain and 5. That sounds like an identity crisis. That's right. Her portrayal, not betrayal, her portrayal resonated so strongly that it earned her a 1978 Daytime Daytime Emmy nomination for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. In 1979, she appeared in the internationally successful soap opera Dallas, taking on the part of a secretary. That's right. She was also in Barnaby Jones, The White Shadow, St. Elsewhere, Law and Order, Oz, and Rescue Me, and her final TV appearance being in The Good Wife in 2010. And she's just been in every fucking thing. I can't keep going. Broadway. She was on Broadway with The School of Scandal, Black Spirit, The Sisters Rosenweg, The Little Foxes, Deep Blue Sea, The Glass Menagerie, Seascape. You know, there's just no end to what she's done. Lord have mercy. Well, rest in peace, sister, whatever your name is. Damn it. I got caught up in so many roles, I forgot her real name. Rest in peace. This is one role where you probably should have your own understudy, so you didn't have to play the lead part in your funeral. And anyway, can I get I forgot to write something here. Damn it, GD, why'd you do that to me? Dear Lord, and don't do it again. Please bless Brother Rex Reed. Rex Reed, a critic and journalist known for his brash, often acidic takes on films and filmmakers, has died. He was 87. His cause of death is SUDS, Sudden Undisclosed Disease Syndrome. That's 3. Reed burst onto the movie criticism scene in the 1960s and was part of a wave of new reviewers who offered a fabulous, albeit sharper, jazzy alternative to the more staid forms of analysis that had been showcased by major outlets. These writers also had the good fortune to arrive as cinema itself was undergoing a transformation, with the studio system collapsing and something sexier and edgier and barrier-breaking emerging in its place. Now, I used to enjoy Rex Reed before I realized I didn't need someone to tell me if a movie was good or bad. Sometimes I like a bad movie. But, you know, here's some of my favorite excerpts from some of his critiques. Quote. Now, I don't know how his voice sounds. I'm assuming it's like snarky, but I'm not going to try to do his voice. Quote, just living in Los Angeles guarantees the loss of a few IQ points each year. Close quote. Quote, in Hollywood, if you don't have happiness, you send out for it. That's right, close quote. And here's my favorite of the favorites. Quote, the result is a twitching he's talking about a movie here. The result is a twitching convulsion of vicious drivel passing itself off as a movie, which can be best appreciated by the kind of people who dig Showgirls, the Saw franchise, and Spike Jonze and Charlie Kaufman flicks. Yeah, it's like, this motherfucker film bad. You have to like other bad films are like this film. Rex, rest in peace, Rex. Now, Rex means king, but we all know he was a queen, right? We all know that? Okay. If you didn't, you probably still have dial-up internet. Can I get a 2 thumbs up and enjoy it? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Barry Blaustein. Barry Blaustein, who wrote and directed Beyond the Mat, the acclaimed 1999 documentary about professional wrestling, has died. He was 71. His cause of death was stage 4 pancreatic cancer and Parkinson's. I do not know which diagnosis shook him up more, but if I had to guess, that's right. He co-wrote iconic SNL sketches featuring Eddie Murphy, including characters like Gumby, Buckwheat, and Mr. Robinson, who he helped to develop. He helped to develop all 3 of those characters. That's right. And contributed to several of Murphy's films. I knew it. I knew Eddie Murphy had help developing those characters. Motherfucker's not that great. If I had somebody writing characters for me, I could be a character. You know what I'm saying? I could be a character if I had a Blaustein. I don't have a Blaustein in my life. Blaustein had been a screenwriting professor at Chapman University Dodge College of Film and Media Arts since 2012. Rest in peace, Barry. So you were Gumby, damn it. Can I get a Mr. Robinson? Are you trying to seduce me? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Donald Gibb. Donald Gibb, the tallest of the Bee Gees, has died. He was 71. His cause of death was throat cancer with a side of heart attack. Gibb was best known for his role as Ogre in the cult classic Revenge of the Nerds franchise. Not only did he appear in movies such as Conan the Barbarian in 1982, Bloodsport in 1988, U.S. Marshals in 1998, and Hancock in 2008, but Gibb also appeared in a lengthy list of TV shows. Now, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm starting to feel old as fuck the Hancock, okay, the movie Hancock. I like that movie. I liked it a lot. I didn't realize it's almost 20 years old. Fuck. And every time I read these things, I see how long ago these movies are that I still watch. I start to U.S. Marshals. I still watch that when it comes on. 1998. Oh my God. This. I thought of all the things I thought was going to age me, reading obituaries was not one of them. Motherfucker. Okay. The former football player's large stature was well suited for portraying hulking characters such as Leslie, Dr. Death, Crunchner in HBO's First and 10. He played the role from 1985 to 1991. I used to watch First and 10. I was a huge fan of that. I even have an album of theirs downstairs in the basement somewhere. It was not available for sale. It was a promo album that HBO put out a lot back. Yes, an album that HBO put out to promote that fucking show a long, long time ago. I got a promotional copy. You can't find it in stores. That's right. You had to get it directly from HBO. He showed up in roles on the A-Team, Seinfeld, The X-Files, Step by Step, Days of Our Lives, and The Young and the Restless. Gibb had continued to appear at fan events over the past few years. Rest in peace, Donald. Stop being alive. Stop being alive. Can I get the wrong Gibb? Dear Lord, please bless Brother John Barber. John Barber, creator of NBC's Real People, has died. He was 93. His cause of death was natural causes. It's about fucking time. Not about time he died. It's about time I got something other than suds. Oh, no, the other one wasn't. Okay, it was Parkinson's with a side heart attack. Never mind. John Barber began his career as a stand-up comedian. His early work led to television appearances on programs hosted by Steve Allen, Joey Bishop, and Dean Martin. He also opened for renowned performers such as Robert Goulet and Bobby Darin during Las Vegas engagements. And the fact that I know exactly who all of those people are just makes me feel another year older. In addition to live performances, Barber released 2 comedy albums. The first is Tough to Be White in 1965, which addressed civil rights and race relations, and it also featured liner notes by Dick Gregory. And his 1978 album, I Met a Man I Didn't Like, included liner notes penned by Neil Simon, highlighting his growing stature in the comedy world. Yes, see, the reason why it highlights it is because his first album, the liner note was by some black guy, another comedian. But once he got up in the world, a white guy, he finally could get a white guy to do it. See, that's how you can tell. That's how you can tell where you are. Okay, if you're doing your first book and your forward is by a black guy, no, you're just starting out. But by your third book, if you don't have a white guy doing the forward for your book, you haven't gotten better. I'm just saying. And it's not me saying it, but I think I did just say it. Now, if I had known he had comedy albums, I might have stolen some of his jokes. I didn't know. Barber won 5 Emmy Awards, hosted AM Los Angeles, and appeared in shows like Breaking Bad and Sanford and Son. I think he played Aunt Esther in that show. His work on Real People helped shape early reality TV, spotlighting ordinary people with extraordinary stories with unexplainable, extraordinary ratings. Rest in peace, John. I also found it hard to be a white guy. Can I get someone to pen eyeliner? Oh, pen eyeliner. Yes. That's so fucking stupid, GD. God damn. And dear Lord, please bless brother Clarence Carter, Clarence Carter, Clarence Carter. Clarence Carter, the blind soul singer known for hits like Strokin', Patches, and Slip Away, has died. He was 90. His cause of death was prostate cancer. He also had pneumonia and was battling with sepsis. He got along fine with his stepbrother. See, Matt, that's how you do it. His music career began with the duo Clarence and Calvin, later the C&C Boys, who recorded a number of singles during the early 1960s, when his partner Calvin Scott, who was also blind, was injured in a car accident. Jesus was doing the driving. Carter went solo and had his first R&B chart hit in 1967 with the self-penned Tell Daddy. That song inspired Etta James to write a cover version and call it Tell Mama, which reached the US top 30. In 1968, he released arguably his most enduring track, Slip Away, with Carter pleading with a woman to cheat on her partner with him. He didn't have to plead so hard. That year also brought another hit song, Too Weak to Fight, and the ribald Backdoor Santa. Quote, I ain't like old Saint Nick. He don't come but once a year, close quote. The true meaning of Christmas, that's right. That also explains why Santa comes down a chimney. In 1968 was also the year he met future soul music legend Candy Staton, who we featured here last week, who became one of his backing singers before they married in 1970. Staton later said she married him, quote, because he was blind. I'd gotten so tired of my ex-husband accusing me. Every man I looked at, I was in prison. So I got somebody who couldn't see, and I had a wonderful time with him, close quote. Carter co-wrote songs for Staton, including the witty Grammy-nominated I'd Rather Be an Old Man's Sweetheart Than a Young Man's Fool. Now, but Clarence Carter was unfaithful, and Staton wrote bitter songs about his infidelity. That's right. Rest in peace, Clarence. Because you were blind from birth, you couldn't see what a piece of shit you were. Sorry. Can I get a piece of candy? And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at Mind Dog TV. They're truly doing your work, helping to spread your word throughout the wordosphere. They could be anywhere today, but they are here, wishing they were anywhere today. Just like the buttons that are not here, they wish they were with those buttons. And that ought to
That's garbage.
MindDogTV.com. The place to go to set your church, to get your church of last resort gear. And also, Memorial Day's coming up. And it's not too late to get one of those aprons that you can cook out in it. That's right. Now, the moment that all of my little alkies have been waiting for, we're going to finish off this bottle. That's right. It is time for a bump for the Lord. That's right. Brought to you by Bump in a Bottle. from our vineyards to your innards, wine just like Jesus used to make. Bottoms up. Whoa, good to the last drop. Gonna have to get another bottle. Whoa. But it does make me burp. Yes, indeed. Bump, bump, bump. Fuck yeah. Says Stephen Miller, even smelter proof. Further proof that the Rev is Satan. Wow. So, yes, brothers and sisters, let us, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
That's right. Before we start with the sermon, our little side piece called Looking for God in All the Wrong Places, I want to introduce a young lady to you. Some of you know from movies and TV. Sister Curly Hair So Bright. She's going to tell people how to get on Coffee with the Dog.
Comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the
Spring and summer.
now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
Thank you, Sister Curly Hair So Bright. It's good to hear that wonderful voice of yours. It's like angels singing. Now, brothers and sisters, today in Looking for God in All the Wrong Places, we're going to look for God in space. That's right. We're looking at Space Cowboy from the Steve Miller Band and from their 1969 album, The Brave New World, or actually just Brave New World. Okay, now this track contains lyrical allusions to existential and spiritual reflection. The protagonist, okay, here's the funny thing. He doesn't leave Earth. It says he leaves Earth because he's a space cowboy, but I'm going to show you empirical evidence that he never left Earth, okay, by his own words. He calls himself a space cowboy, but ain't so, okay? Now, the song does have, it's about a guy who's disillusioned with the world the way it is, and he just wants to get the fuck out of here, okay? Like there's lyrics, see here, delusioned with human society, while the lyrics critique religious and societal institutions, quote, the prayers and surveyors keep the whole place uptight while it keeps on getting darker outside, close quote. Okay, now, I'm going to skip ahead because I want to get right into the lyrics, because he has an interesting technique that he does here that we're going to talk about a little bit later, okay? But basically, you got the gist of it. It's a guy who's frustrated, and he's on Earth, and he wants to leave. Okay, here we go. The first verse. I told you about living in the USA. Oh, sorry. Let me try that. Take 6. I told you about living in the US of A. Don't you know that I'm a gangster of love? Let me tell you, people, that I found a new way, and I'm tired of all this talk about love. Okay. Now, this is an interesting technique here. An interesting musical device he uses in the very first verse. The very first verse. He is referring to song tracks released on a previous album. That's right. The first two lines, it says right here, I told you about living in the US of A, and then that I'm a gangster of love. Both of those are references. He's referring to song tracks released on a previous album. The album is called Sailor. Now, in comedy, we call this a callback. In literature, it's an ibid. In conversation, it's ditto. In music, it's called a backtrack. When you refer back to a track that you've previously recorded. So, like I said, the album was called Sailor. So the very first line is from Living in the USA. Okay. I see a yellow man, a brown man, a white man, a red man looking for Uncle Sam to give you a helping hand, but everybody's kicking sand. Even politicians were living in plastic land. Somebody give me a hand. Yeah. Okay. That's from Living in the USA. That's the first thing he says. I told you about it. So he's already said, I've told you about this last album. This shit was happening. And then he goes on and says, I'm a gangster of love. Okay. Quote, this is from that Gangster of Love in that same album, Sailor. There's Frank James and Jesse James, Billy Kid, and all the rest. Supposed to be some bad cats way out in the West. If those cats would have dug me and my gangster ways, they would have hung up their guns and dug into their graves. Now, the reason why I'm referencing, the reason why I'm referencing them is because he references them. And it also gives you like a shortcut. Because now, if you read those two songs, leave the lyrics of those two songs, instead of this one song, Space Cowboy, being like the lyrics of this song, now you got this much to refer to. Because he's telling you, he's like, I'm not going to repeat what I said back then. I'm just going to tell you I said it. You can look it up. Okay? So that's the first verse. The first verse says there's more to this song than meets the eye. You just have to go back to the other album. What? You didn't buy the other album? Shame on you. The next line says, and the same old story with a new set of words. Okay, they're right there. The same old story. So this is, again, going back to the first line. It says, I told you about living in the US of A. Okay, so he's saying things haven't changed. What I said back then is still true. Same old story with a new set of words. That's what this song is. This song is basically a recap of living in the USA, but with a new set of words. Now, it continues about the good and the bad and the poor and the times keeping on changing. So I'm keeping on top of every fat cat who walks through my door. Now, every fat cat that walks through my door, there's two things about this. First of all, remember, he's in the music industry. And the music industry is controlled by fat cats. Okay? And we should walk through my door. It's like walking into his life. So a lot of this, okay, it's his problems dealing with the people in power. Okay, people will control shit, but that's always our issues. Most of our issues are not with the people who don't have power, the people who don't have money. Most of our issues are with people who do have power, who do have money. They're just fucking it up for us because they want more power and more money. Again, like he said, same old story, just changing the words. Now, the song continues. I'm a space cowboy. Bet you weren't ready for that. I'm a space cowboy. I'm sure you know where it's at. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to touch this verse here just yet. I'm not going to touch it just yet. I'm going to wait for a little more consent. I'll touch it later because I want to read more of the lyrics, and then I'm going to plug it. Then I'm going to plug the Space Cowboy part back in there, okay? Because I'm going to blow my mind with what I'm about to say to you about the Space Cowboy. That's right. So I'm going to skip over that and come back to it. Okay, here we go. Now we start to get a little deep and a little scientific. Okay, it says here, I was born on this rock and I've been traveling through space. Okay, now this is where we're going to start to help out a little bit here. I'm going to start with a little graphics if I can. Let's see here. There we go. All right, now some of you people remember the show Third Rock from the Sun. So I'm just going to do this real quick. This is the sun. Here comes the sun. Do. Okay. There we go. That's the sun right there. Now, here's one little planet. Whee, going like this. And we all know that's Mercury. And there's a second little planet right here. Whee! We'll call that Venus. And there's a third little rock right here. This is us. Whee! We're going to call this Earth. Okay? This is Earth. Yeah. He says he's born on this rock. Okay? Now, where is this rock? This rock is already in space. All right? Everybody knows that they call this the spaceship Earth. Okay? He says, I'm a space cowboy, and he never left the fucking planet. He's just like the rest of us. He's not a space cowboy because he's special. He's a cowboy because of his attitude. He's already in space just like the rest of us. Motherfucker didn't go anywhere. Okay? Now, I may have to come back to that later. I'll see. I'm not sure. I was born on this rock, and I've been traveling through space. See? Yes, we all have. That's no big deal. But for him, it's like a revelation, and he wants you to know that it's a revelation. Since the movement, I first realized what all you fast-talking cats would do if you could. You know I'm ready for the final surprise. Okay, and this is an interesting, see, he's going back to the fat cats, all right? He goes, since the moment I first realized what all you fast cats were talking, fuckity fuck. Take 19. Since the moment I first realized what all you fast talking cats would do if you could, you know I'm ready for the final surprise. So, what he's saying basically, because before, like I said, again, he's in the music industry, okay? He's in the music industry. And every single chance you get, when we first started the music industry, okay? And some of you may not know this because you're not in the industry, but you're probably, if you're in the arts, okay, let's say you're undiscovered. You're working on your first record deal, okay? The first thing they do is they take advantage of the fact that you've never had a record deal before, okay? And they're saying to you, this is a great deal. And they said, oh, lawyers, don't get lawyers involved. They're just going to take 15, 20% of what it is I'm trying to give you. Just trust me, okay? And then they give it to you right there. They said, they're just going to take 20% of what I'm trying to give you. You know what they're trying to give you? That's right. That's what they're trying to give you right there, okay? Yes, indeed. All right. And then, because it's your first record, you don't know that they're doing to you. You don't know that because it's your first time. And see, but now this is his third album. That's right. This is his third album. He knows what this is all about. So he goes, okay, now I know. I know what you fast talking cats are up to. I know. Okay. Now he says there ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing to say that's going to satisfy my soul deep inside. All right. So if he's going to be in the industry, he's going to deal with these fat cats. And they're going to keep on trying to do this. no matter how smart he gets, they're going to try to get smarter. Okay. Now, it's not the same. The music industry is not the same today as it was back then. It's the same rules. The big fat cats are trying to fuck you. Okay. But now they're doing it in such ways where you're still thinking like, oh my God, look at that. I got 4 billion views. I got 4 billion people downloaded my song. That's 37 cents. Wow. Yeah, that's right. But you know, they made a lot more money. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. It takes a lot of money, a lot of infrastructure to set up things like Spotify, to set up all those little listening channels and stuff, the YouTubes and stuff like that. It takes a lot of infrastructure, and they're going to make that money back in spades and from spades and chinks and spicks and Polacks. They're going to make that money back from all of them. And I think somebody just got offended because I left their group out. They're like, what about the Muslims? Sorry. Yeah, but nobody's buying Muslim music. So who said that? Damn it. I'm sorry. Yeah, somebody like, they left out my group. I want to be insulted too. Yeah, the only group I didn't offend were the Jews. That's because they shut me down. No, I'm just teasing. I'm good with the Jews. I love the Jews, the orange Jews, the apple Jews, all the Jews. It keeps me regular. All right, so I don't know where I was. There ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing to say that's going to satisfy my soul. Oh, here we go. All the prayers and surveyors keep the whole place uptight while it keeps on getting darker outside. Now, people are saying, well, wait a minute, Rev, why is this song one of the songs we're looking at to look for God? Is that so far, he hasn't mentioned God. Yeah, but isn't God everywhere? And besides, before I got into the deep dive of this song, I'd already decided I was going to do this song. So fuck off a little bit. So now I'm going to get back to I'm a Space Cowboy. Bet you weren't ready for that. I'm a Space Cowboy. I'm sure you know where it's at. Now, I'm going to go back to because again, he mentioned 2 songs in the very beginning, okay? 2 songs. He mentioned Living in the USA and I forgot the other one, but it's about Gangster of Love. That's it, Gangster of Love. Now, in Gangster of Love, he calls himself a cowboy and a gangster, okay? He compares himself to other cowboys and gangsters. The difference is, in that song, while Billy the Kid and Jesse James and all those other guys, they were stealing money, okay? Steve Miller, the Gangster of Love, was stealing hearts, okay? And booty. That's what he was going after. They were both going for booty, just a different kind, okay? They were both going for ill-gotten booty. As a matter of fact, Steve Miller, the Gangster of Love, boasts about at least 55 booties that he done stole, okay? So now, he's not just a gangster of love. He's not just that cowboy. He's a space cowboy. So he's still out there trying to get the love. And now that's the difference. That's what he's doing now. He's still trying to get the love, but it's not just the love of the women. He's trying to get the love of the people in power, so to speak. He wants them to stop fucking him. I'm a space cowboy, but you ready for that? Okay, again, see, when people hear space cowboy, they're thinking cosmic. They're going like, whoa, yeah, he's a space cowboy. He's all the way out there. It's like, no, he's right here. We're all right here. We're all right here, okay? We're not going anywhere. And when we make things difficult here, it's difficult here for everybody. That's it. He's a space cowboy, But aren't we all? We're all stuck here. We're all dealing with those fucking fat cats. The next line says, I see the showdowns, slowdowns, lost and found, turnarounds, the boys in the military shirts. I keep my eyes on the prize, on the long fallen skies, and I don't let my friends get hurt. That's a mouthful. Okay, I see the showdowns and slowdowns, the lost and found. Showdowns, I guess that could very well be the battling, rich versus poor. I don't want to pit one race against another because we aren't. The races are just a political construct. Okay, so it's not white against black. That's bullshit. But people in power wants us to think that's what it is. So yeah, showdowns, the slowdowns. Now the slowdowns, that's a little bit deeper in the sense that slowdowns is we're trying to make progress, and those people up there, the rich, are trying to slow down that progress. Lost and found are those is our society. Okay, our society is lost. It needs to be found. Turnarounds are the ones that saw their way and went, okay, I know what's going on. We're fucked. I'm gonna repent. Those are your turnarounds. The boys in the military shirts, do we have to guess who they are? All right. I keep my eyes on the prize on the long sky on the long fallen skies. Now, I see the long fallen skies as bombs, and so because you mentioned military shirts, I see the fallen skies as things that are like bombs and stuff that are being dropped on other nations. That's how I see it. Because the next line says, and I don't let my friends get hurt. So it's like he's trying to protect them from the things that are falling from the skies. Now, also, remember Chicken Little, Henny Penny, okay, and Lucky Plucky, and all of those other critters, when some of them panicked when they thought the sky was falling because they didn't have somebody to protect them. He's saying, don't panic. I'm going to protect my friends. So, Steve, can I be your friend? Just asking for a friend. Now, it says here, next line, all you backroom schemers, small trip dreamers, better find something new to say. Because you're the same old story, it's the same old crime, and you got some heavy dues to pay. He's going right back to the very beginning where he says, same old story, new words. So basically he says, look, I told you guys when I did this other album, 68 or whatever it was, 1968, I think the first album was. This is, I think, 69. So I told you back then, and you still haven't done anything about it. So I'm going to remind you about what I said in the first album in the song, Space Cowboy. And I'm going to rely on you people to break this song down verse by verse so that you can figure out what I'm talking about. Because I'm an artist. I never come out and say what I'm trying to say. I sing what I'm trying to say and hope you hear what I'm trying to say. Say? What? So, again, all you backroom schemers, small trip dreamers, better find something new to say. So it's like, we've heard it all before. Now, again, and they did find something new to say. The same old story, but they're saying it in a new way. Okay? They are still stealing from us, but they're doing it in a more clever way. Because it's always been about the Benjamins. It's always been about them keeping power. And the way they kept power back then, kind of the same way they do it now, but they can't say it the same way. Okay? It's always, they make us fight each other. Okay? But now they're doing it, they get more and more clever. So that we have to stop fighting each other. We have to see beyond it, because what happens is we get used to one terminology, one language. Okay, and they'll say, for example, with the us against them, the us could be whites and then them could be blacks. Okay, at one point in the 60s. Or at one point, it was like us, the democracy, and them, communists, because the world was so divided in the sense that we didn't really know many people from over there. Then the world changed, and we got to meet Vietnamese people. We got to meet Chinese people. We got to meet them close and we're, whoa, they're no different than us. So they could no longer that thing about democracy versus communism. That wasn't working like that, because we got to meet the people, not the governments, and we start working together. So they had to change the language. Oh yeah, there's still some old school people who say fascism, yeah, the communism, yeah, the thems, but the real people in power changed it. See, and they never change it to what it really is: the rich against the poor. Even though rich, poor, doesn't matter. We're all here. We're all here. Got to stop this bullshit. Got to cut through the rhetoric. But that's what he says. The same old story. New lyrics, new words. And now, so then it's against the immigrants. They're always looking for a new boogeyman for us to be afraid of, for us to fight. It says, you got some heavy dues to pay. Yes, they do. And he goes back and ends this with the same verse. I'm a space cowboy. Bet you weren't ready for that. I'm a space cowboy. I'm sure you know where it's at. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now we know where it's at. It's Third Rock. And we're all there. We're all there. Yes, the theys. They keep changing the theys. But the rich people need the theys. Because if they don't have the theys for us to be afraid of, they can't control us. So, yeah, he says I'm a space cowboy, but he never left the planet. Okay? Don't look for him out there. Look for him here. Look for yourself here. Don't look for yourself out there. Here. We're all here together. All right? Let's get through this shit together. Let's cut through all the language that separates us. Let's get rid of the us and thems and theys and realize it's just people. Rich motherfucking people trying to hurt poor people. That's what it is. So let's not divide the country any further. It only needs one division. Fucking rich people and the poor people. That's the only division we need. And the poor people gotta fucking take over. Oh, sorry. Let me stop. Before the rich people that control YouTube cut off the poor black child that just borrowing its service because he signed an agreement allowing him to share his data. So lets him use YouTube for free. Lord have mercy. So, brothers and sisters, I hope that you were entertained, and I hope that somewhere along the line you were enlightened a bit. But more important, I just hope you're having fun, and you realize that no matter what happens out there, we're not alone. We have each other. Let's stay together. Let's fight together. Let's love together. And let's, if you get a chance, book G.D. Fenderson. Go to gigseller.com. Matter of fact, check out. There's a sample right here. You probably heard it before. But
One of my friends says, aren't you concerned that your wife is going to Europe by herself? I'm like, no. I said, don't you think she might cheat on you? No. And she does. That's her business. That's her vagina. She does what she wants with it. She's been taking care of it before she met me. She knows what's good for it. I don't take care of it. I said, I'm not worried. And besides that, if I have to worry about what my wife is doing in Europe, then I'm in the wrong relationship. My wife, and besides, she knows how to say no in several languages. She was in Austria, Hungary. Hungary was first. A guy hit on her, and she goes, Nem. No. She's in Austria. A guy hit on her, she goes, Nege. Yes, no, thank you. And she's in Germany, and the guy hit on her. She says, 9. The guy goes, yeah, 9. So my wife and I are joking about it. And I just joked. I said, yeah, well, you're in Europe. The experience which you're not going to experience at home. You're not getting 9 at home, so 9 over there. Fine, sure. Do you. You do you. You do you, girl. Have fun. And Carol says, I'll tell you what. When we come to Europe next year, if you meet an attractive woman who wants to sleep with you, and you want to sleep with her, if she has a 9-inch penis, knock yourself out. Fair is fair, right? No.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think Sunshine. No, who's leaving? Ann is leaving. Thank you. Look, guys, thank you all for hanging out. And yes, thank you, Kev. That's a funny bit. I like that bit myself. Look, before I close, I want to thank those of you who were subscribed to my fledgling YouTube channel, which is exactly 0 people. Yeah, guess what? The people that subscribed last week left. That's right. They subscribed and left. So I'm right back at the same number I was when I started weeks ago. Right back to the same number. They subscribed and left. Now I don't know if the same people subscribed and left. I don't know. But anyway, check out Dr. If you're here for the first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, and also my Facebook fan page, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. So bless you. Also invite you to go to gigsolid.com and check out GD Fenderson the next time you need to hire a humorist for a private event. On behalf of the Church of Last Resort, I want to, on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Amona Roll, my kid Cinnamon Roll and Jelly Jr. Roll, my cat Tootsie Roll, and our dog Stop Drop and Roll, I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Mind Dog TV and everywhere that our word is heard. That's right. So in the name of George Collin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah!